In section 6.3, we're talking about hyperbolas. We're going to do part A in this video. We're asked to find the center, the vertices, and the asymptote. Then draw a graph. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add something here that I wrote down on the worksheet that I gave you in class as far as the asymptotes. This is also located in your book. The asymptotes are y is equal to plus or minus a over bx. Okay, they should give that to you here, but they did not. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and find the equation. We're going to put the equation in the correct form. We're going to make it look like this, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to divide everything by 784. Okay, when we do that, this is what we end up with. We end up with y squared over 16 minus x squared over 49 is equal to 1. Okay, so the first thing we're asked to do is to find the center. The center we can tell is the origin, so I'll start with that. Okay, the other thing we're asked to do is we're asked to find the vertices. So to find the vertices, here it is. I'm going to go ahead and circle it. I know that my A is 4. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that. Okay, so A is 4. Okay, so my vertices would be, I'm using this right here, it'd be 0, -4, and 0, 4. Okay. The last thing they ask us to do is to find the asymptotes before we graph it, and then we'll graph it later. Okay, so here's my asymptotes. I know my A is 4 already. I know my B would have to be 7. Okay, so here's my asymptotes. It's y is equal to plus or minus a over b, 4 over 7, x. So those would be my two asymptotes. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to clear the screen, and then I'm going to move down, and I'm going to actually graph this asymptote with the information that we're given. Okay, here we go. Right there, that's pretty good. Okay, so again, we know our center is the origin, so I'll start with that. There's my center right there. I know the vertices, again, are 4 and -4. Okay, so I'll plot that. Okay, I know my foci. Actually, I didn't find that, and they didn't ask us to find that, so I actually didn't find the foci. But the other thing they asked us to do was to find the asymptotes, and this is what we found for the asymptotes. Their y is equal to plus or minus 4/7 x. Okay, so let me go ahead and plot that with a different color here. Okay, so 4/7 x. So let's start with the first one. Okay, let's go ahead and graph this line. We know it's a line that goes through the origin. So I'm going to use the origin as 1 point, and I'm going to rise 4 and run 7. So rise 4, run 7. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fall 4 and run back 7. I guess you did the first one incorrectly. Let me do that again here. Okay. Okay, so let me do it again here. I'm going to rise 4 and run 7. That'd be right there. I'm going to fall 4 and run backwards 7. Okay, so there's one asymptote. Okay, the other asymptote is y is equal to -4/7 x. So again, I start at the origin. I'm going to fall 4 and run forward 7. And then I'm going to rise 4 and run backwards 7. Okay, so that would be right. Let me go ahead and plot that asymptote there. Okay, now let me go ahead and complete my graph. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and since even though they didn't ask us to find the foci, let's go ahead and find it. To find the foci, we have to use the following information, which is above here that we cannot see. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. This was my equation that we had written up on the very top there. Okay, A is 4, and then B is 7. Okay, so to find my foci, I'm going to use this equation. C squared is equal to A squared, which is 16, plus B squared, which is 49. If I go and simplify that, C squared is equal to 65. So C is equal to square root of 65, which does not simplify. So my foci, even though I didn't ask it, I'm going to go ahead and write down on here. It's going to be 0, negative square root of 65, and 0, positive square root of 65. Square root of 65, by the way, is approximately 8.06. So I go ahead and include that in my graph if I want to. Okay, so that concludes this worksheet.